Hello, friends, and welcome back to Stories About Entitled People. In the first story, our OP learned two things: do nice things, and people do nice things for you. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you're new here and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. Here we go. Double trick. I felt bad about one, but certainly not the other. This was easily about 8 or 9 years ago. I was working in a call center. We sort of middleman between a selection of theme parks and hundreds of hotels that customers could book as a nice package holiday. Now, most people would call up the theme park, think they were talking to the location itself, but actually be talking with a bunch of part-timers in an office nowhere near, depending which brand they called. We'd answer as that brand, and all in all, it was painless. There was a website, but we were there in case of special requirements. Sometimes people didn't want to book online, etc. Now the parks we support are fairly popular, so much so people do fly in specifically to have holidays there. This means the job was two things. Wonderful for some families. These were the once-in-a-lifetime trips, and you were the person helping them get the holiday they wanted. The other side was pure hell. If the holiday went to crap, you know full well it's somehow our fault. We had all sorts of calls, people screaming, threatening us, etc., etc. I had a good track record, often closing sizable packages, and always went a little further, sorting out some balloons in the room for little Timmy's birthday, notifying the park to add Tom's birthday alongside the other kids to celebrate his special 45th. You know, random acts of kindness. I was often told by management to remember to stay in my lane, and while it was nice, I should be on the next call, not emailing the hotel to arrange the unpaid-for bits and bobs. Now, one day a family called me, and I could tell immediately they were posh. They were flying in and were looking for our top options, top hotel, unlimited fast-track tickets, the whole lot. I went in immediately and suggested one of the on-site hotels, asking what favorite characters the kids going had, etc. However, the woman booking heard wonderful things about this alternative hotel. We're talking 5-star. Head chef won an award for cooking a pigeon so well, other pigeons would offer themselves to be next. All fine. Sorted it out. Booking came to $12,000 something. Threw my discount on there. I pulled all the bells and whistles out. Boss comes over raving. What a deal. What a close. I'll go tell my boss. Wanders off. Hour later, the family calls back. Woman had since Googled the on-site hotel and was stunned at how wonderful it was, as it was for her granddaughter. Could she be a pain and rebook there? Yes, absolutely. I have to cancel the old booking first. The refund can take the usual, however many days, and the second booking made immediately. She went fine, went through, and red alert, her Amex is stalled as 2 12K shots in a short pace caused some issues. I checked the system out, found out it was us blocking it, not her, and had to get a manager to resolve it. I explained I can't do anything right now to finalize it, but let me call in a favor. I call into the hotel and explain everything. Could they do me a favor and hold the rooms until we get it all hashed out? Yes. You want your usual balloons, bullcrap? Their words. Yes. Go on then. I log everything in our system, all the conversations, who I spoke to, when I went hard as it was a small holiday there, and go ask my manager. She's fuming because she's been and bragged to the brass how she's doing well because I closed this sale, and suddenly asking her to refund the amount? Yeah, but it's to book it again. The second booking actually was more, and we'd end up still better off. But she wobbled about it, tells me she'll do it, but it's the end of my shift, so go home. I beg her to call the family. She said she would. 2 days after my next shift, I sit down and see that my weekly total is missing the $12K, but not replaced with the $15K. I go ask my manager what happened. Did she speak to them? No, they didn't answer. They'll call back. I asked if I could call them myself. No, get back on the phones. This is not your job. Your job is to answer the phones. I protested. This could be $15K we lose. We should chase it. None, you're extra BS this time. Just go get on the phones. I'm a little PO'd, but there's nothing I can do, so I decide the smart thing to do is log everything new in our system, including what my manager told me, and just answer the phones. 2 days pass, and I get a call from the family, ask for me to get patched over. They were ready to pay again. Amazing, let's do it. I call the hotel, sort out the package, all ready to go. The red alert comes up again. My manager hadn't greenlit the payment, however, as the refund had been processed. It was just sitting and pending. All my manager had to do was hit a button and the family would get the confirmation email. I speak to my manager, she tells me to F off and stop bothering her over this. I mark all that in the account on the system and promptly have a week off. I come back in, it's Sunday night, slowest shift of the week, usually people phoning to tweak a booking, ask what time the park opens, etc. But then one phone call came into a newbie. The screamers are easier to deal with. They come in hot. You just play kind and calm. They look deranged and all calls are recorded. If it needs escalating, you look sane. It's the calm, collected complaints which are the scariest, and this family's grandma, she definitely killed people. The poor newbie got this call, and we knew immediately something was up. He nervously asked if I was on a call and if he could patch them over. Sure thing. It's the grandma, and she's not happy. Calm, but not happy. They had flown in at the park's hotel, but as no payment had been received, they weren't allowed to check in. I checked the booking. My manager never processed. They were sat in the lobby, 4 kids, 2 sets of parents, and grandma nowhere to stay. I call my manager. It was 9 p.m. at night at that point, and she didn't answer. Tried 3 more times and got an email saying it's her night off, don't bother her. Another one logged in the system. I actually then called the hotel front desk, explained I was balloon BS and needed help. The staff there knew me and gave me a break, but they didn't have the power. The hotel manager did, got patched to him, explained everything, and he went, okay, here's the deal. We can put the family in the rooms, but we need to charge someone the room. I'm going to charge the company you work for, and you guys can hash it out later. This is where the first MC piece I felt guilty about. I'd done everything by the book, and there was this family stuck, stranded in the lobby, and charging the company for the 2 was just a no-no, like lose your job and have them come after you for the money type no-no. So I tried calling every contact I had, but it was 11 or 12 at night at this point, and no one was answering. So I hit F it, called the hotel back, told them to do it, knowing full well I'd be job hunting the next day, logged it and left. Wasn't due in till 10 a.m., but got a call at 7:30 telling me I needed to be there by 8. I arrive, get frog marched into a meeting room with 3 levels of bosses in front of me, my manager, her manager, and his manager. They also had a single printout with an invoice for $15K from the hotel in my name. They went in on me. 20 minutes of yelling, shouting, one left to get HR for an immediate dismissal. He arrived and only asked one question. Can you justify why you comped a $15K package? The only thing I could think to say was, check the logs. My manager looked thunderstruck. Her boss looked perplexed, and his boss just looked at my boss with a scowl, and all 3 told me to wait there while they left and HR sat with me. 10 minutes later, I was told to take the day, leave. And when I came back the next day, my manager was on the phones like the rest of us, and I was told I'd be reporting to her boss alongside the wider team. Learn 2 things. Do nice things and people do nice things for you. Also, log everything. Email conversations, even if you ever feel it wasn't right to make a note and timestamp it, for the love of God. Fantastic. Crap lazy managers need repercussions, and in a customer service role, people should be like you. And our next story. Revenge on a lazy coworker that took credit for my work. 5 years ago, I was hired for a summer internship with a junior mining company. At the same time, Marcus, a recent graduate, was hired for a full-time position. Our boss paired us together to review documents and familiarize ourselves with the project. While we were reviewing documents, I happened upon a calculation error that meant the company could mine more material than initially expected, thereby increasing the profitability of the project. Certain that I must be mistaken, I ran the error by Marcus and he agreed with my findings and asked me to write up a brief summary. The effort then took my brief summary, slapped his name on it, and submitted it to the higher-ups as his own work. Marcus quickly became the company hero, and the CEO even flew him out to Toronto and wined him and dined him at an expensive steakhouse for a couple days. Marcus never once gave me an ounce of credit for the discovery. As an acknowledgement of Marcus's hard work, they assigned the 2 of us to a small research and documentation project and made Marcus the project manager that managed and directed my work. Marcus put in an earnest effort for about a week, then decided he was going to slack off while I put in the effort of 2 people. Marcus started taking 2-plus-hour lunches, returning to the office completely sloshed. Sometimes he'd lock his office and nap for a few hours. Throughout the entire summer, I bit my lip and never outed Marcus or badmouthed him. The payoff? I wrapped up our summer project, wrote the report, submitted it to the appropriate people, and returned to school for the fall. Not even one day after my departure, Marcus calls me panicked. He's being asked to present our work and delve further into certain portions. He had no idea what I'd done, much less where to start with delving further into the project. I kindly referred him to the report and reminded him that I had satisfied all my duties with the company. I returned to the company in December to intern for a month over my winter break to learn that Marcus had been fired in late September, only a month after I left for school. Edit. I now work at the aforementioned boss that fired Marcus. I just talked with my boss and her response was, "You found that error? No crap." She then went on to say that it made a lot more sense that I found the error instead of Marcus. We then talked about him for a bit and looked him up on LinkedIn. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.